All right, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. This is Dr. Ephraim. Today's date is September 19th, 2022, and I'm saying Ahaya by Yeshem, Yeshua HaMashiach, Baruch Atah Adonai. And if you're listening to the sound of my voice, you are blessed to see yet another day, and all praise is due to the Most High God of Israel for now and forever. So, I had to jump on here because, I got an email yesterday and, I felt a lot better in my spirit. I shared with you guys that I appealed, the decision by YouTube to take, one of my videos down. That has never happened in all my years of teaching because like I said yesterday, I've always been very mindful, very respectful. I've always said made the appropriate statements, before I even on some presentations, so it would never be construed that I was trying to give anyone any type of advice, or I never, came out with any kind of wild conspiracy theories. None of that. I've always been very mindful of stuff like that. So for them to take that video down, it really struck me, in a way that, I had never felt, because I'm like, wait a minute, I've been too careful and cautious over the years for them to remove one of my videos, and I didn't agree with it, and I said that it was wrong, and they agreed with me. My appeal was accepted, and basically they apologized, and they put the video back, and I wanted to share that with you all, with the congregation, all my supporters and students that have been with me, over the years, and down from day one. I see your comments. I try to respond to as much as I can, but sometimes I don't catch everything. But charge it to my head and not my heart. And I appreciate all of you who take the time to write your comments and give me words of encouragement, your prayers even, and things like that. Your well wishes, it's greatly received. So that being said, let me go ahead and bring this email from YouTube up, and I'm gonna share it with you guys. Give me 1 second. All right, so here's the email I received yesterday, and obviously you can see the YouTube logo up on there. Let me read it to you. It says, "Hi, Hebrew Israelite Online Learning Institute. We have reviewed your appeal for the following." The video was Real Talk Tuesdays, episode 6. It says, "After taking another look, we can confirm that your content does not violate our community guidelines. Thanks for your patience while we reviewed this appeal. Our goal is to make sure content doesn't violate our community guidelines so that YouTube can be a safe place for all. And sometimes we make mistakes trying to get it right. We're sorry for any frustration or our mistake caused you, and we appreciate you letting us know. How does this impact your content? We've reinstated your content. If your appeal was for a warning, you'll be allowed another warning in the future. If your appeal was for a strike, we've removed the strike against your channel." And it goes on to say, I can find more information about warnings and strikes at the YouTube Help Center. But, and before I even continue on, thank you, YouTube, for that, because you're not perfect, and I understand how algorithm sometimes doesn't get it right. And, and sometimes, things can be subjective because it depends on who's listening. And what their views are, their beliefs, whatever the case may be. So no, it's not, no one's perfect. And so I appreciate that. I appreciate the apology, and I appreciate you putting my video back, because, I think it's pretty amazing for all the content that I have never had any type of issue with YouTube ever. Right. And so that email really made me feel, pretty good. And, it was wrong, but they made it right. So again, thanks, YouTube. I really appreciate that. I've always tried to do the right thing, y'all. Y'all know me. I'm very respectful. I'm very mindful. Even when everyone hasn't been very respectful towards me. There were times I wanted to cuss some fools out, but nah, I didn't stoop to that level. I try to give the devil a black eye when I can, and not act unseemly, as my mom taught us, my grandmother taught her and taught us as well. Just try to maintain and don't act unseemly, because that old psychological thing is true. If someone is coming at you crazy or talking all loud, or, and you just keep, even measure tones, eventually that person will come down, right? But one of the worst things you can tell any person, especially a black person, when they're upset or whatever, is to calm down. Like that is the worst thing you could do, right? Don't tell us to calm down, and then that sends us to another stratosphere, right? So, but anyway, I wanted to share that real quick, and let me get back to my intro slide. Give me 1 second. All right, here we go. So yeah, so I try to definitely respond to as many comments as I can. Like I said, I don't always catch all of them, but I appreciate every single one. It's been a push pull over these last couple of years for me with this channel. I've got a lot of information I put out, but I never sought fame, or I never wanted to be acknowledged for who I am. That's why one of the reasons why, even when I started going live for a little bit, and I kind of stopped doing that, because then it's like I don't want to take the focus off the information, right? It's not about me, right? And you have to be very careful about that. I think one of the reasons why, because I've always been straight and narrow, and I would never say anything just outlandish or controversial. And I think that's one of the reasons why my channel never really blew up out of this world, because 9 times out of 10, when you look like me, and the majority of us that are part of this channel, we have to say something just outrageous and outlandish to start getting people's attentions. Like I noticed that, like when black women are talked about in a way that they don't deem as respectful or whatever, I noticed that gets a lot of attention, right? And one of the things I'm not going to do, and I'm not ever going to be, is a gimmick, right? If I have to get your attention by being disrespectful to people, then I guess I won't get it, because I'm not going to ever be disrespectful or say things controversial that I know is going to get a rise out of people and things like that. I'm not no shock jock, none of that kind of stuff, right? Like I want to use my voice, for something that's productive. Something that's inspirational, that's educational, right? I mean, I'm an educator at the end of the day. I don't know if many of you know or remember, but I'm not teaching currently, but I'm an adjunct professor, and I teach human resources management, in college. So I literally am an adjunct professor. So but I'm not teaching currently. I've been dealing with some health issues I had to get control of, and thank God it is. And like my granddaddy said back in the day, boy, I had to catch up on my rest, So, I've been chilling and just getting, getting myself strong and stronger and things like that, But I love to teach, and more importantly, I love to learn, And I don't care what your title is, learning is a constant thing, right? And I'm constantly learning myself as I'm teaching and sharing, in my knowledge. No one knows everything. I don't care how old you are, what your title is in life, what your social, economic status, any of that, So, I do. It's been back and forth, over the years with this channel, but I refuse to be a minstrel show. I refuse to say things that are disrespectful or hurtful to my people, or any people for that matter, just to get some views, or for my channel to blow up, or whatever the case may be. I'm perfectly content with this channel doing whatever it is God's will for it to do. Because at the end of the day, my people, that's what it's about, right? Like, we can try to manifest our destiny, and I encourage everyone to continue to do that. But at the end of the day, we prayed that God's will be done. That's in our Father's prayers, right? That God's will be done. That's what we pray, right? And that's exactly what happens. His will for our life is gonna supersede ours. That's just how it is. So I've come to the acceptance a long time ago that I'm cool with whatever His will is for my life, right? Like, I don't have any grandiose aspirations to be some big rich person or have a bunch of money or this and that. Let me tell you something. Back in the day when I was in the music industry, before I got into the music industry, when I sold my tapes and stuff, on foot, out of the trunk of my car, I had friends that I could have sold drugs. I could have came into the game and did what a lot of these rappers did, and sold drugs and made a lot of money and blew up in the music industry. But I refused to sell drugs. And I had the connections. I ran with who society said was bad people, right? Like criminals. Like, my right hand man did 5 years in the feds on a major drug indictment, right? And so, it's not that I didn't have the opportunity, but I had way back then, I had the wherewithal and the conscience to say, no, I'm not going to hurt my people to come up, quote unquote. If I have to hurt my people to come up, then I guess I'll never come up then, because I'm not going to do it. And it was presented to me a few times. Hey man, you might want to, no, I'm good. We're going to do like this, and that's how we're going to do it, whatever the case may be. So, but I appreciate all the support and the love the channel has gotten. Like I said, it's pretty amazing that I have all this content, and I've never had any type of warnings or any type of issues with YouTube. I mean, that speaks volumes. That really speaks volumes. And now I understand that they're making it a little different, because ultimately they're not going to have a pay section or what do you call it, a pay business model for creators, which I'm pretty sure that's going to hurt a lot of people. I mean, this channel never really made money. I made a few bucks here and there, but nothing to talk about. So, I mean, not going to hurt me one way or another. My thing is just to kind of keep, just the channel interesting. That was always my kind of challenge. That's what the Real Talk Tuesdays was about. Keeping things interesting, and me even going live on some Shabbats and stuff like that. At the end of the day, I feel like there's power in my words. I have God blessed me with the ability to speak, and I have a speaking gift, just as well as a teaching gift. And it's not about, like I said, my titles, my education, whatever. Everyone knows I have 2 honorary PhDs, one in psychology, one in astrology, and one in gosh, it just escapes me. One in astrology and the other in counseling, right? So, and I have a master's in human resources management now. And since I've last spoken to you guys in this past year, I put the Master of Education up under my belt as well. So now I'm a master. I'm an MED as well. You can throw that up in there. So, I've been collecting these degrees and stuff over the years, and, honorary this and honorary that. And, I'm, Sigma Beta Delta, which is an international honor society. So, I'm not a stupid brother by a long shot, but I don't never wear anything like that on my sleeves, or, or brag about it. Or my mother, though, she just, oh my God, she brags about everything. I was like, Mom, it's cool. I appreciate you. I know you just, being a mom, and you're proud of me, this and that. I said, but sometimes when you start telling a bunch of stuff about what your people are doing, people get jealous, and people resent that, and eventually they'll start to resent the person, because they're not doing anything like that. Their life isn't even remotely close to being exciting or even purposeful, for that matter. So me, I've always been the type to just not really just play the background. Like, I'm cool with that. Like, I never wanted to be famous, y'all. Never did. That was never part of my repertoire. I want to be rich and famous. Now, I wanted to be rich, have money, because with that I can affect change, and I can help my people, my family, and people that look like me and you, and people that are less fortunate who don't look like me and you, or whatever. So that's my heart, right? Like, so, I'm okay with, not blowing up out of this world, just, saying, getting on here saying a bunch of controversial, outlandish stuff, because I'm not going to do that. I refuse. I really do. So, that being said, I think I'm ready to kind of come back, bring my voice back, to the voices, if you will. I got a lot I want to share. There's a lot going on in the world, and obviously y'all know my foundation is always going to be, the Most High. I'm a believer, so anything that I do is going to have that involved. It's just no way around that. So I think starting tomorrow, I'm going to do Real Talk Tuesdays is back on the map. Again, thank you to YouTube for reversing that decision, and more importantly for that apology. That really made me feel a lot better, because I really felt a certain way yesterday, because I couldn't believe, like, y'all took one of my videos down. Like, me? I sure got the right Dr. Ephraim. Like, because everyone that knows me knows that I'm not that type of person at all. Even when people try to come for me, like, I just deflect it. I don't get involved. I don't entertain it. I just don't. But anyway, I think I'm gonna slowly get back into this thing, starting tomorrow. Real Talk Tuesday, I think episode 7, right? So you guys be looking out for that. I'm gonna be working on that sometime between this evening and tonight. Got some other things I got to do, but yeah, look for Real Talk Tuesdays, episode 7, coming tomorrow. Dr. Ephraim is back. And with that being said, you all have a blessed day. And I'm saying Ahaya by Yeshem, Yeshua HaMashiach, Baruch Atu Adonai, for now and forever. Shalawam, elect. I'm back.